Hi guys, it's Jessica with Chapter Chicks. It's been forever since I've been on here. I feel like I do this like every couple of months, but I got swamped, just completely swamped in school. And it's taken me a few weeks from being in school to kind of decompress and start getting into reading and start being able to be to the point where I want to make videos again. I've been really desperate to make videos lately, and just every time I get to it, either I don't want to shower or anything, and today I just decided that I'm just going to film it even though I look like a diss. I got my hair cut, yeah, for a while. It was a little bit longer and red. Now it's not, it's a lot shorter and black. Once Upon a Time is one of my favorite shows of all time. Definitely one of my top 10, possibly one of my top 5 favorite shows ever, and I just went through a phase where I was just watching it, and just Snow's hair just looked better and better. So I decided to just go for it, and my hair was all dead anyways, and I figured this way I can let it grow out and I don't put myself in a box, because I realized I wanted short hair, and then I was like, well no, I can't cut my hair or then I won't feel feminine, and then I didn't want to be put in that box anymore. So I just cut it anyways, and while I do want to grow it back out, that was the initial goal, was to grow it back out really healthy, I do like the short hair, so. But you're not here to hear about my hair, obviously. You are here to hear about books, and I'm going to start off really small. I was at work today. Emma has an injury. She was playing with an old fishing rod yesterday and has microfiber stuck in the side of her finger. We've had a really rough time. Besides those kinds of things, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that Lance passed away. He has been in our family for almost 16 years, and he had a stroke, and he's a Shelties Collie, and he had a stroke, and we had to end up putting him down. It was really hard for me and Stacy and everybody. So yeah, we've just had a rough couple of weeks. And today I just decided, whatever, screw it, I'm just going to film whether I look like crap or not. I made this dress, which is why it's awful, but it's so comfortable, and, it is what it is today, and that is even better because it's natural and more fun and beautiful. So I'm going to start off with my June TBR. I've been killing it reading lately, guys. I have nothing to do. I work 2 days a week, maybe, and I am still really lazy on housework, so none of that's getting done, even though I'm home to do it. I've just been sitting around playing with Emma and reading, and it's been the greatest. So, so far I want to keep my TBR kind of limited so I can choose new books outside of my TBR. But I did start off by reading Harry Potter again in June. Oh, the glorious Harry Potter. Obviously this is a 5 stars. Even now it's amazing, and this is one of the first times I've reread it since I've been an adult. I have probably read this one a couple times, but oh my god, it's just so good. It is a lot younger than I remember it being. There's a lot less depth to this one, but I think that's something that's beautiful about the series, is that the depth grows with the characters. Like, this kid's 11. Nothing's going to be deep to him, so beautiful. I'm planning on reading in June is the Hush Hush series, but in case you can't notice, Crescendo is missing. I have it sitting around here because that's the one I'm reading. I thought I brought it over, but I guess I didn't. But I'm reading Crescendo. I finished Hush Hush yesterday, started Hush Hush yesterday, and then I'm planning on finishing the Hush Hush series. So that'll be one of my series challenges knocked off. I finished Fallen this year, and I'm planning on finishing 5 series at least. And I finished Fallen already, and then I finished another series that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And then this month I want to finish Hush Hush. So that'll be 3 of the big series that I really wanted to get down out of the way. And Hush Hush, I guess you'll hear about it in my June wrap-up. We're trying to get detailed sooner. Girl. So things I read before this, let's see. I'm going to try to go back and do some of the highlights of the books that I've read since I started filming. So May was another really busy month for me. I had a lot of reading to finish up for school, a lot of things to do for finals, and because of that, I didn't read as much as I would have liked, but I actually ended up reading more than I thought I would, because the last week in May I just killed it, and in 4 days I read 4 books. So I read Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran I don't know how to say it, and I know you guys are going to tell me. This was for my Great American Novel class, and I actually had addressed this issue with some of you guys brought it up when I was talking about the books that I got from my Great American Novel class, about how there was no mixture in ethnicity of the writers, and he is actually changing that for next semester. He didn't get it in time for the syllabus this time, he said, but next semester he has some, I think he has an Asian and an African American author. So I'm really excited to hear that, and I just thought I would update you guys because I know you really care. But this book is about a 9-year-old boy and the people around him. It switches perspectives after his father dies in 9/11. And that's all I want to say about it, because finding everything else out was really cool. I actually listened to an audiobook of this until my teacher yelled at me because there's so much cool stuff. This is not my circles. This came this way. It has all kinds of cool pictures and like things marked out and just stories that go along with the book. And it is amazing. It's so pretty. It's so beautifully done. And I am just in awe of this story. I really enjoyed it. I believe I gave it 5 stars because it was very touching. I cried probably in the 2nd chapter. That's something I finished for school. I also read some other things for school. I read Mrs. Dalloway. I read The Ballad of the Sad Cafe, but those were either ebooks or part of my anthology, and I didn't feel like just holding up my Norton's anthology, so I also read those. I read the entire Mara Dyer series. I knew I read the first one because I read it and I really enjoyed it, and I read it only like a month after it came out maybe. So I picked up the other 2, and apparently, like 2 years ago, I also read The Evolution of Mara Dyer, but I wanted to reread them so I could marathon the entire thing, and then found out that I had actually read both of them and only had the last one to read. So that kind of sucked that I knew the first 2. I knew what was going to happen, but it had been such a long time that I've read it that it wasn't fresh in my mind. I didn't really remember much, and that made it kind of nice because I still knew it was happening, but at the same time, it was coming to me as it was happening. I wasn't like predicting it ahead of time. So, yeah. I didn't even know I read the second one. Like, I don't know how you can just completely forget reading a book. And Stacy asked me about it a while ago because I was asking her if I had got it or not, and she said, yeah, you've read that one. I'm like, no, girl, I haven't read that. I would remember if I read an entire 400-page book. But I guess I didn't. But I give this entire series a 5-star. I think it's unlike anything I read. It has a lot of cliches in it because this is an older YA series, and it was kind of happening before the cliches were so cliche, and I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of suspense, there was a lot of mystery, and my boy's to die for. It's kind of creepy, but then kind of not, which was like so in. I don't know what us crazy girls were doing with so many crazy men. I also read, I really enjoyed this one, and that is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the only Armentrout book I've read besides the Lux series. My house is really dirty, okay? I have a lot of pets and they're shedding, so if you see like little hairs floating by, it's because I'm disturbing the area. I don't normally sit here in front of my messy bookshelves. But Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's the first Armentrout book I read besides the Lux series, and I really loved it. I am officially a fan of Jennifer L. Armentrout. I knew I probably would be, but you never know. There could be like a one-hit wonder with the series, but this is a standalone as far as I know, and it is so good. I don't want to say anything about it because it's a mystery, and I read a review that said that you will blah, 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 never be able to guess it. And I was like, well, now I'm going to be able to guess it, and I didn't. And when the mystery was finally solved, I'm just like, whoa, what'd you say, girl? I also read in May this bad boy, Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This thing is huge. And if you've watched the show, you've read the book, essentially. It's so similar to the show that if I had actually watched the show attentively, then I would not have been able to get through the book, I don't think, because when I watched the first season of Game of Thrones, I was cleaning in my room. I had a night free from Emma, so I could organize my room. Like when we lived at my mom's, we only had the room, so it was always unorganized and always messy. So Josh went out and he had his mom watch Emma, so I could, and I was invited to go out, but I wanted to stay home and organize because I'm an introvert. That stuff just sounds way more fun to me. So I was staying at home and organizing, and whilst organizing, I had Game of Thrones on. And it ended up that I would just be watching it and then like listening to it sort of while I was cleaning, and then when Daenerys came on, I would sit down and watch it, and then when her part was over, I'd get back up and start cleaning again. So I kind of got the gist of what happened, but missed enough of it that I could still read this book. I watched probably half of season 2, but I watched it on a car ride to Gatlinburg and was half paying attention to that as well. So I'm not too worried about season 2 or book 2, but I will not be watching any more of the seasons until I've read the book first, because I've heard it goes that way. Season 1 matches book 1, season 2 matches book 2. I don't know how long that lasts, but I'm not going to watch any of the shows until I've read the book that corresponds. Okay, so that's everything I read in May, I believe. In April, there was also a couple of ebooks that I read. All the Bright Places was one, and I gave that a 5-star, I believe. And then I also read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, which is probably one of my favorite books that I've ever read, ever. I don't have it with me because I lent it to my best friend, but I loved it. It was so good. It was so beautifully written. Jandy Nelson is a rock star when it comes to writing YA books. I also read Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This is a reread. I read it for school, and, you know, I liked it a lot better this time around, trying to look at it from an academic standpoint, because it's just so full of nonsense that you can't help but be somewhat attracted to it. And then when you're trying to make sense of the nonsense, it actually makes it a kind of a fun game. But I did not know how much of a creep Lewis Carroll was. Like, Lewis Carroll, you nasty. The last book that I want to talk about that I've read since I've been doing booktube videos is, or since the last time I've done a book video, is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell. Oh my gosh. I know that you all are going to yell at me for saying her name wrong, but I loved the book. Leave me alone. I don't know how to say it. Rainbow Rowell, I think is how you say it. But this book is so good. It was so cute. This is the only Rainbow Rowell book I've read. I have all of the rest of her books in my Amazon cart the next time I'm able to purchase something off of Amazon, because they all sound amazing, and I am just in love with her writing after reading just one book. I am the main character of this book, let me tell you. I used to have a Harry Potter conforum that I went on, and I was Hermione Granger, and I went to Harry Potter classes on the conforum, and it was bad. It was bad, but I had a whole little group of friends on my Harry Potter like forum, and it was hella cool, man. It was the cool thing to do. But anyways, let's just move on from the beginning of the internet. That's it. That's all I got for you for this video. I'm back. I am planning on doing videos a lot, because I have a lot of ideas. I've been thinking of a lot of stuff, and I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited. And hi to all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, and I'm sure you're not even watching this far in the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya!